Hi, I'm Lisa from Garlic and Zest. Today we're making a smoked prime rib, a show-stopping roast that's perfect for special occasions. Thanks to the pellet smoker, it's simple, hands-off, and full of flavor. Let's get started. This is a 9.5-pound bone-in rib roast. I'm removing the bones to make it easier to carve later, and also it will cook faster on the smoker. So just use a sharp knife to follow the natural curve of the rib bones and slice through them and remove. You can also use a bone-in rib roast on the smoker. It'll just take a little longer to cook. You may want to trim away some of the excess fat from the meat, but a little fat is flavor, and so you want to leave at least some on. Now to tie the roast, you're going to use about 10 to 12 feet of kitchen string. And first you just tie a simple knot around the roast to give it its form. Pull the string about an inch down and hold it, and then take the loose end and loop it through the end of the string. Continue in this manner, pulling the string, holding it tight, looping it around the meat, and tucking it underneath the end. This may look like a challenge if you've never done it, but just give it a practice run or two and you'll get the hang of it pretty quick. So when you get to the end of the rope, after you make that last loop, we're going to flip it over. And then you just take the string and alternate going over and under the string that's wrapped around the meat. Just like that. And we're going to tie a knot at the end to hold it all together. And this is going to help give the roast a nice round appearance. It'll be easier to cut, and it's going to be an impressive centerpiece. So to season, we use kosher salt and black pepper. And this is a generous amount because keep in mind, it's the outside that's getting seasoned, not the inside. So rub a little bit of olive oil all over the meat, both sides. And once that's coated, we're going to add the salt and pepper. And you're just going to sprinkle it on and use your hands to rub it in really well. And we're going to do this to the top of the roast as well as the bottom. So we're going to flip it over, and then we're also going to be coating the sides of the roast. We're using about 2 tablespoons of kosher salt and a tablespoon of black pepper. You could use this as your basic seasoning and not go any further, or you could use a Montreal seasoning for a little bit more character. But I'm going to use a mustard and horseradish paste to go with this. So I start with about 2 tablespoons of prepared horseradish, some whole grain Dijon mustard, and some regular Dijon mustard. I like a little bit of fresh thyme, about a tablespoon's worth. And just mix this up into a paste, and we're going to coat it all over the prime rib. And then use your hands to rub it in evenly so it's well coated everywhere. Now, while this is doing its thing, we're heating up our smoker to about 225 degrees. For medium to medium rare, you want about 30 to 40 minutes of cooking time per pound, or an internal temperature of 118 to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Use a thermometer for accurate temperature readings. Once you've got the right temperature, it's time to sear the meat. So I've cranked it up to about 500 degrees, and we're using sear plates just to give a nice brown crust all over the meat. If you don't have sear plates, you can grill it at the 500 degrees for 1 or 2 minutes per side. So here's our smoked prime rib. Doesn't it look delicious? It's got a wonderful crust. It's so aromatic. It does need to sit for about half an hour before you start slicing. And when you do, you're going to want to cut it into 1/2 to 1.5 inch slices, depending on the appetites of your guests. But look at this. It's perfectly medium rare. There's no gray ring around the edge. It's just perfectly cooked. And it was so simple to do on the pellet smoker. Your family and friends will love this smoked prime rib for your celebration. You can absolutely do this and be the star of your holiday dinner. This smoked prime rib is tender, juicy, and delicious, served simply with the jus and drippings, or dress it up with a creamy horseradish sauce. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and be sure to click the link in description for the printable recipe. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Lisa from Garlic and Zest. Follow me for more showstoppers.